With a budget of around 400k or $250, you can buy the Redmi Note 14 Pro 4G or the Infinix Note 40 Pro 4G. Ever since I unboxed the Redmi Note 14 Pro, I've always thought about comparing it with the Infinix Note 40 Pro that I've had for over 10 months now, simply because the 10-month-old phone from Infinix share a lot of similarities with the recent Redmi Note 14 Pro 4G. Which is the right phone for you? Let's find out. Both brands are generous with what you get in the box. In the box of the Infinix Note 40 Pro, you're getting a 70 watts charging brick, some accessories in the box, and in the box of the Redmi Note 40 Pro, you're getting a 45 watts charging brick. Infinix takes a step further by giving you a wireless charging pad in the box, because the Note 40 Pro supports wireless charging with the leather case attached to the back. I have used my case every day since the phone was released. That's why it's looking a little bit rough. I don't use the wireless charging, but it's nice to know it's there. You also need to know that wireless charging on the Infinix won't work without the case, and you can also charge other devices that support wireless charging at the back of the Infinix phone. The Redmi only has a silicone TPU case and there isn't any wireless charging support. Infinix also added an earpiece in the box, something you won't get in the box of the Redmi. However, you see this aspect, I would say it's a win on both sides, because many brands that are selling phones within this price point don't even give you anything in the case. You just get the phone and maybe a charging cable, that's all. But definitely there has to be a winner. Infinix is giving you more in the box. I hope you make sense of what I'm trying to say. Now, price-wise, the Infinix Note 40 Pro 4G comes in at around 380 to 385,000 naira, depending on where you are buying from, while the Redmi Note 14 Pro comes in at 407,000 naira, and this is for the base model of both phones. And for the Infinix, you are getting 8 gigs RAM and 256 gig storage space, while for the Redmi, you are getting 8 gigs RAM and 128 gig storage space. Storage type on both phones is UFS 2.2 and the RAM type on both phones is LPDDR4X, as expected within this price. The Redmi comes with a 12 gigs RAM model and up to 512 gig storage space, but the Infinix maxes out at 12 gigs RAM and 256 gigs of storage space. Design is subjective, and what you like might not be what I like. Both phones look completely different and the Redmi looks better in my opinion. It's a bit narrower and feels more comfortable in the hand. The camera cutout at the back looks a bit more polished against the slab that we have on the Infinix Note 40 Pro. The back of the Infinix is glass, while we have plastic at the back of the Redmi. My color of the Infinix is slippery, and you can't use this phone without a case at the back. In fact, it's really slippery, and I don't see anyone using this phone without a case, no matter how careful you are. The Redmi is comfortable to use both with a case and without a case. Both phones have plastic frame, and you get an active halo light for notifications at the back of the Infinix, but you can turn it off in the settings. I actually turned mine off because it was kind of disturbing me when there are notifications in my phone and I'm sleeping. You also have an IR blaster on both phones, and they also have dual speakers. Both phones support dual 4G SIM card, and the slot on both phones is hybrid, meaning you can use 2 SIM cards or a SIM card and a memory card slot. You also get IP54 water splash and dust resistant rating on the Infinix Note 40 Pro 4G, and you get an IP64 water splash and dust resistance rating on the Redmi Note 14 Pro 4G. Build quality is great on both phones, but design-wise, I prefer the Redmi. The Infinix has more physical hardware features because of the wireless charging support and also the active halo light at the back. Now, both phones have an under-display fingerprint scanner, and you can't really separate them in this aspect depending on how fast they unlock. Both of them are equally fast. You can use face unlock, but it's not as secure as the fingerprint scanner on both phones. Both phones come with curved AMOLED screen, and in terms of how aggressively curved they are equal. The resolution is 1080p and you get a 120 Hz refresh rate. Peak brightness on the Redmi is 1800, while we have 1300 nits of peak brightness on the Infinix. We have Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2 on the Redmi, and on the Infinix we only have Corning Gorilla Glass. As a result of everyday usage, you can see how the glass on my Infinix has scratched. The Gorilla Glass Victus 2 is actually more durable than what we have on the Infinix. In terms of how they look, I'll say they are really close. colors pop and everything looks sharp and contrasty. Both phones are responsive to touch and everything looks fast on both display. The haptic feedback you get while typing on the Redmi feels better than what you get on the Infinix Note 40 Pro. You get a screen protector pre-applied on the screen of the Redmi Note 14, while that of the Infinix is inside the box. For display, I would say the Redmi is ahead because we have Victus 2 on the display, which is definitely more durable, and it is also a tad bit more brighter than the Infinix Note 40 Pro. Performance-wise, we have the MediaTek Helio G99 Ultra on the Infinix Note 40 Pro 4G, and we have the Helio G100 on the Redmi Note 14 Pro 4G. The Redmi is a tad bit faster, but day-to-day usage, you won't really notice the difference between these two phones. I would say both phones performs really well for the price, and I feel you should not pick one over the other in terms of performance. The reason is that there aren't significant gains in terms of performance between the Helio G100 and Helio G99. Anything that you can do on the Redmi will equally work perfectly on the Infinix, even in terms of gaming. Both phones are running on Android 14, and we have Hyper OS on the Redmi and XOX interface on the Infinix. One thing I appreciate about XOS is that there haven't been any ads or pop-up notifications the way you get on the Redmi Note 14 Pro 4G. You get pre-installed apps on both phones, but there are more pre-installed apps on the Redmi Note 14 Pro. Both operating systems share some similarities in some way, and the level of customization is also close on both phones. There are some AI features, and the Infinix has AI wallpaper generation, text summarization with Folax, which is one that I always use to summarize web pages. Redmi, on the other hand, has AI image eraser, and I feel it's one of the most useful AI features that you even get on flagship phones. This feature lets you kind of remove objects from pictures. It's pretty easy to use, but you need internet connection to use that feature. You also get Google Gemini on the Redmi Note 14, but it's not an exclusive AI assistant, as it can be downloaded on the Infinix Note 40 Pro. You can even use the Gemini app to generate images. Now, in terms of software updates, Infinix has promised 2 years on the Note 40 Pro, while I think we are getting up to 3 years on the Redmi Note 40 Pro 4G. Overall, in this aspect, I prefer XOS on the Infinix because it's much more smoother and less buggy. You also don't get those weird pop-up notifications and ads on the Infinix. Redmi, I feel they have to just cut down on the number of ads that you see on the interface of their phone. In terms of camera, we have a 200 megapixel primary camera on the Redmi Note 14 Pro 4G, accompanied by an 8 megapixel ultra wide lens and a 2 megapixel macro lens. The Infinix has a 108 megapixel primary camera, accompanied by a 2 megapixel macro lens and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. We have a 32 megapixel lens on the front for both phones, and in terms of pictures, they process differently. The Redmi adds brightness to all the images, and it can be a hit or miss. The Infinix tends to keep the photos warm and true to life. I've shown many people the pictures from both phones, and they tend to prefer the images of the Redmi because of the level of brightness. When it works, but if it doesn't, it's kind of overblown. Personally, I love how Infinix keep the pictures accurate. In low light, the pictures on the Redmi still appear bright over the Infinix pictures. I feel in terms of pictures, it might be a tie because some might prefer one over the other. Same thing applies to selfie pictures. For videos, Infinix can shoot 2K at 30 FPS with both the front and back camera, while the Redmi caps at 1080p 30 FPS. Here are the video samples. Let me know your favorites in the comment section. We have a 5500 mAh battery with 45 watt charging support for the Redmi Note 14 Pro 4G, and 5000 mAh battery on the Infinix Note 40 Pro with 70 watts charging speed support. It takes under an hour to charge the Infinix from 0 to 100, while the Redmi goes to 100% in slightly over an hour. You get wireless charging and reverse wireless charging on the Infinix, and it's not available on the Redmi. In terms of battery life, the Redmi definitely outlasts the Infinix because it has more battery power. Infinix, on the other hand, has bypass charging, which takes power directly to the phone when you are charging and using it at the same time. In this aspect, the Redmi definitely is ahead unless you value fast charging ahead of more battery life. A few years ago, comparing these two phones will have been a no-brainer, but here is a 10-month-old Infinix phone going head-to-head with the latest Redmi phone. Hopefully, this video will help you make a decision if you are trying to buy any of the two, And in case you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section. Also, make sure you check out the individual reviews showing on the screen right now in order to kind of know which one you might want to go for. I'll see you in any of those videos.